Welcome to Context 101. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Imagine a slow, somber cello playing Welcome to Context 101. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. A single sustained note. The sound lingers in the air, heavy with anticipation, as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. People are just going about their day on a sun-drenched California street. The city hums with life. Cars pass. Conversations drift. And the ordinary rhythm of daily existence continues, seemingly untouched by the tension building beneath the surface. Suddenly, the music stops. There's silence. The world seems to freeze for a moment, as if everyone senses that something monumental is about to unfold. Then, the sharp, metallic click of a gun being holstered cuts through the quiet. It's a small sound, but it echoes with meaning, signaling a shift that can't be ignored. Today, January 6th, 2026, a Supreme Court decision has sent shockwaves through the nation, fundamentally altering gun rights and regulations. The news spreads rapidly, reaching every corner of the country within minutes. The ruling, rooted in a 2022 case, challenges California's famously strict gun laws. Decades of legislation are suddenly called into question, and lawmakers scramble to respond. Some celebrate it as a restoration of liberty. For them, it's a long-awaited victory, a reclaiming of rights they believe were lost. Others condemn it as a threat to public safety. Their voices are urgent, warning of risks and consequences that could reshape communities. This decision reverberates nationwide, forcing a reckoning with the Second Amendment's meaning in the modern era. States across the country are now compelled to reconsider their own laws and traditions. California, long a fortress of gun control, now faces a new era where historical tradition is the test for any gun law. The state's identity as a leader in regulation is suddenly uncertain. The shift has ignited fierce debate, pitting personal freedom against community safety. Town halls fill with passionate voices, and social media erupts with arguments from every side. Legal experts dissect the ruling, politicians draw battle lines, and advocacy groups mobilize, preparing for the next phase of the fight. Meanwhile, citizens wonder what it means for daily life, parents worry about their children, and communities question how their neighborhoods might change. Will open carry become common in cities? Will the sight of firearms in public spaces become a new normal? Or will resistance grow? Will violence rise or fall? The answers are unclear. The only certainty is that change is coming and its impact will be felt by all. This is not just a legal story, it's a human one, about the tension between individual rights and collective security. It's about families, neighbors, and the fabric of American society. The world watches as America confronts its unique relationship with firearms. Allies and critics alike wonder what this means for the nation's future. To understand this moment, we must look back at the history that led us here, tracing the evolution of laws and the battles fought over them. We must examine the legal reasoning behind the decision, the precedents cited, and the arguments that swayed the highest court. And we must listen to the voices on all sides, those who cheer, those who fear, and those who simply hope for understanding. This essay will guide you through that journey, offering a clear look at a decision that will shape America's future and the lives of everyone who calls this country home. California's strict gun control reputation is the result of decades of reactive legislation, often spurred by high-profile events. In 1967, the Mulford Act banned open carry after Black Panthers monitored police with loaded firearms, setting a precedent for swift regulation. Tragedies like the 1989 Stockton schoolyard shooting led to the Roberti-Roos Assault Weapons Control Act, one of the nation's first bans on certain semi-automatic firearms. Over time, California's laws became a complex patchwork, with bans on open carry and strict permit requirements for concealed carry. Supporters say these laws save lives. California's gun death rate is about half the national average, while opponents argue they punish law-abiding citizens and do little to stop criminals. This tension between safety and rights set the stage for the legal battles that reached the Supreme Court. On January 3, 2026, the Ninth Circuit Court issued a landmark ruling, striking down California's long-standing ban on open carry in most of the state. The decision sent shockwaves through legal and political circles, instantly becoming a focal point of national debate. The law had prohibited open carry in counties with over 200,000 people, covering 95% of Californians and effectively making open carry impossible for the vast majority of residents, especially in urban and suburban areas. The challenge began in 2019 with Mark Baird, a gun rights advocate from rural California, who argued the ban violated his Second Amendment rights and unfairly restricted law-abiding citizens from exercising their constitutional freedoms. A district court initially upheld the ban, siding with the state, but the Ninth Circuit reversed that decision, citing inconsistency with the nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation and referencing recent Supreme Court guidance on gun rights. Judge Van Dyke, writing for the majority, said the ban could not stand under the new legal standard, emphasizing that the right to bear arms extends beyond the home and must be protected in public spaces as well. Judge Smith dissented, arguing the majority misread history and overstepped in striking down a law meant to protect public safety, warning that the decision could have far-reaching consequences for communities across California. The ruling left in place licensing for open carry in rural counties, where population density is lower, and was immediately met with promises of appeal from California officials determined to defend the state's gun laws. Attorney General Rob Bonta considered several options, including seeking a larger en banc review by the full Ninth Circuit, and signaled the state's commitment to continue the legal fight. The January 3rd decision is monumental, marking a turning point in California's approach to gun regulation, but it is likely just one chapter in a much longer legal saga that could ultimately reach the Supreme Court. The legal and political battle over open carry in California is far from over, with both sides preparing for the next phase in this high-stakes fight over the future of gun rights and public safety in the state. The Ninth Circuit's decision was shaped by the Supreme Court's 2022 Bruen ruling. Bruen replaced the old balancing test with a strict history and tradition standard. Modern gun laws must align with those from the 18th and 19th centuries. Public safety arguments no longer suffice. Only historical precedent matters. Judge Van Dyke's opinion found open carry was historically accepted, and California's ban had no clear historical analog. Bruen triggered a wave of lawsuits challenging gun laws nationwide, with mixed results and legal confusion. Lawmakers now struggle to craft gun safety measures that can survive this backward-looking test. The Bruen effect is reshaping Second Amendment law, and California's open carry case is a prime example. The legal landscape for gun regulation has been fundamentally altered. Governor Gavin Newsom condemned the Ninth Circuit's ruling, warning it could return California to the Wild West. Attorney General Rob Bonta vowed to fight the decision, framing it as a defense of common-sense gun laws. Their response signals a prolonged legal and political battle, with gun control a central issue in upcoming elections. On the other side, plaintiff Mark Baird became a symbol for gun rights advocates, celebrating the ruling as a victory for the Second Amendment. National groups like the Second Amendment Foundation hailed the decision as a step forward for gun rights. The debate is deeply polarized. One side sees open carry as a threat to safety, the other as a restoration of liberty. These key figures will continue to shape the national conversation as the legal fight continues. The clash of worldviews is at the heart of America's gun debate. If the ruling stands, openly carried firearms could return to California's cities for the first time in over a decade. Law enforcement faces new challenges, distinguishing between legal carriers and threats, and adapting training and tactics. Politically, the decision energizes both sides, making gun rights a wedge issue in state and local elections. The firearm industry may see new opportunities to challenge other regulations. Businesses must decide their own firearm policies, creating a patchwork of rules and potential friction. For many Californians, the sight of guns in public is unsettling. For others, it's a long-awaited validation. The ruling could increase social tensions and confrontations in public spaces. The debate is no longer abstract, it's about what people see and feel every day. California is forced into a statewide conversation about safety, fear, and community. Gun control groups like Brady United and Everytown see the ruling as a dangerous step, arguing more guns in public means more violence. They cite research showing visible firearms escalate conflicts and create fear. For them, California's low gun death rate proves strict laws work. Dismantling them risks tragedy. They argue the court's focus on history ignores modern realities and weaponry. Gun rights advocates, including the NRA, celebrate the ruling as a restoration of fundamental rights. They argue open carry deters crime and that law-abiding citizens should not be disarmed. The Wild West scenario, they say, is fear-mongering. Other states allow open carry without chaos. For them, this is about liberty and pushing back against government overreach. The fight is about more than guns. It's about the meaning of freedom and safety in America. Legal scholars call the Ninth Circuit's ruling a bold application of the Bruin Standard. Some, like UCLA's Adam Winkler, say the decision stretches Bruin further than intended and may be reversed by a larger panel. The Ninth Circuit's liberal majority could overturn the ruling in an en banc review. Experts debate the history and tradition test, arguing the historical record is complex and open to selective interpretation. Critics warn the Bruin test leads to inconsistent results and legal uncertainty. The Supreme Court is expected to hear more gun cases soon, which could clarify or further expand Bruin's reach. These future rulings will determine whether expansive interpretations like California's open carry decisions stand. The legal war over the Second Amendment is just beginning. America stands at a crossroads, forced to confront fundamental questions about freedom, safety, and identity. The choices we make now will echo for generations, shaping not only our laws but the very fabric of our society. The Supreme Court's decision has pushed the debate over guns and the balance between individual rights and collective responsibility to the forefront. Across the nation, people are grappling with what it means to be both free and secure in a changing world. California faces legal battles, political maneuvering, and public anxiety as the fight over open carry continues. Lawmakers, activists, and everyday citizens are all weighing in, each with their own hopes and fears for the future. The outcome will set a precedent for other states and future gun laws nationwide. What happens here could influence how communities across America address gun rights and public safety for years to come. This moment calls for deeper listening and empathy, not louder shouting. Only by understanding each other's perspectives can we hope to find common ground and real solutions. Both the fear of more guns in public and the desire for self-protection are real and valid. These emotions reflect the complexity of the issue and the diversity of American experiences. Leaders and citizens alike must foster a conversation based on facts and empathy. It's a challenge that requires patience, respect, and a willingness to listen to voices that may differ from our own. The future of the Second Amendment will be shaped not just by courts, but by the will of the people. Every vote, every conversation, and every act of civic engagement matters in this ongoing debate. Whether you see this as a victory or a setback, your voice matters. The path forward will be determined by those willing to participate and make their opinions heard. The story is far from over and its ending depends on all of us. Together we will decide what kind of nation we want to become.